In this short tutorial, we'll walk through the standard setup of a Split High-Flow Nasal Oxygen circuit using an Airvo 2 or Optiflow as they're often called. We'll start with the equipment you'll need apart from the standard Optiflow setup. You'll need two standard CPAP tubes using the standard 22mm ports, two Optiflow nasal cannulae instead of one, two washed standard PET bottles. You'll also need three 3D printed parts, one so-called T-connector and two Optiflow adapters. If you do not have access to a standard mount, you'll also need two cable ties. Now on to the actual setup. Screw two PET bottles into place on the T-connector. The ports are marked D and E. Ensure that bottles are screwed completely into the socket before the T-connector is mounted. The T-connector can be mounted using both cable ties or into a standard mount, such as the one on the Airvo pole stand. We'll start off by showing you the cable tie mounting instructions. Thread a cable tie through each of the holes through the back of the T-connector. Attach the cable ties to the Airvo 2 pole stand. If you opt to use the standard mount, which we recommend, you just click the T-connector into place. The next step is to mount the water chamber as usual, and then connect the sterile water. After that, you mount the blue air spiral tube to the Airvo in its usual place. The distal end of the air spiral tube is then connected to the top of the T-connector, to the port marked with an A. If possible, try to arrange the tube so as to avoid trapping condensation. The next step is to connect the CPAP tube to each of the sides of the T-connector. At the distal end of the CPAP tube, attach the Optiflow adapter and you can then just click the Optiflow cannula into place. The setup is now complete and you can connect the Airvo system to your oxygen outlets and start treatment.